it would be possible to meet him. And a lot of security guys of the movie shooting told me that I don't think it would be possible. He's not the kind of guy who likes to meet people, or you don't want to get disturbed, and that's the feeling I have. It's more than a dream coming true. I never fucking thought in my entire life that this would happen. I never It's fucking hard talking right now. Okay. He said, oh, you know what, maybe writing a letter, what you want to tell him, give it to me, and I'm gonna give it to him. I'm like, okay, at least, it's gonna be a good thing happening. The thing is, like, I went there a few hours today, and I went there yesterday and another day before, because I told myself they're shooting a movie in Montreal, Disappointment Boulevard. Next week I'm going to Carrefour Populaire Saint Michel. It's for my program, and I won't be able to go. So I'm like, okay, you know what? You have one life to live. Just try, at least it's not gonna happen, but at least you will have tried. So for a few days I'm sitting alone in a corner. I'm sitting alone, and then I see him with a woman walking by. They're both looking at me. I'm like, oh fuck. She comes to me. She's like, are you looking for something, or you need help? And I'm like, oh my god, I bothered them. They're tired of seeing me. So I'm like, yeah, but I start crying because Joaquin movie brings something. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, I want to see him, but I know it's not possible to take his time. And she's like, yeah, I know. But she goes, talks to him. I'm like, no. The security guys knows the story. They're looking at me like, oh no. She comes back and she says, okay, come. I'm like, no, you're kidding me right now. Now I start dissociating. I go in. They're like, okay. They take my temperature to see if I have fever. They give me a bracelet. She's like, okay, sit. There's a bench outside. He's gonna come and see you. The minute he sees me sitting, he comes next to me. Hi, how are you? I start shaking, I start crying. Obviously, I knew that's what happened if I would meet him. And I'm like, okay, trying to contain myself. I'm like, I just want to thank you, because movie Joker literally saved me. I start explaining my life, which is the same as Arthur. I start explaining the same thing I had. I didn't kill anybody. I wasn't adopted. But the rest is the same. And I cry, I shake. And I'm like, almost like Arthur. And then I said that everything he does in the movie, how it impacts me. He starts crying and he's like, oh, poor baby. And he gives me the biggest hug ever. He wasn't even supposed to because of COVID. They said you don't have the right to approach him more than 2 meters. And he removed the mask. He gave me a huge hug. He's like, are you okay? I hope you're better. Are you hungry? Did you eat today? do you want to drink water or something? And he goes see. He says like, you want to eat? He brings me a salad. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And he's like, are you fine now? And I said, oh my god, I'm shooting like 10 hours tonight, but I would have bring you to the restaurant, but it's like, are you hungry? He brings me back a bottle of water. And I'm like, okay. The security guys in the back, they look at me, they cry, and they're like all panicking. I go sit because I need to process what happened. He comes back. Avocado sandwich that he prepared for me in the back. It's like, you seem to be hungry, like you said. Eat. He brings me a can of Coke. He said, you need anything? Like, we can hang out a bit and we talk? He cried again. He said, thanks for coming to talk to me. Thanks for coming today. And I said, seriously, thanks to you, Joaquin, because I know how you hate people following you and things like that. And I really, with a lot of respect, I told him, I know how you don't like to take pictures. And I wanted to ask if that's okay. Now he turned, and I said, if it's no, if you don't want to, please tell me, and I will totally respect that. Don't want to intrude your space. I don't want to be like a groupie. He said, hey, stop that and come. And he said, take off your mask. It's a picture. He was crying while the picture was taken. I'm not sure if I talk okay right now. And I gave him a letter too, with the address of my blog in my email, because I never thought I would have seen him. So I gave him the address of my blog, where I talk about the psychodrama. This day, and the day of 2018, when I met Ogre, were the 2 most beautiful days of my life. This day of today, I never expected this to happen. I will remember this day until my death. I will always remember this most beautiful day ever.